Hey everyone, it's B3 with Safari Sam's kids. He's not allowed to see anymore. And I'm back with like a new type of video. Um, I'm sure you've noticed there haven't been a lot of big TV show reviews or anything on here recently. And that's because the shows I want to watch are so effing long and also often difficult to find. Because they're like these 50 episode or more Tokusatsu Showa shows. They're old as hell and hard to find outside of Japan legally. I want to do this legally if I can. So, I want to start doing this thing where I do first impressions of these Toku shows. Where I just watch like the first episode or two, and then daddy-o, I give a like first impression. So this isn't a review of the whole show, just the first impression. And today's first impression is for Jiban, a Metal Hero series that I've been wanting to watch for quite a while. It's based off RoboCop, because as many of you may know, RoboCop's design, like his physical design, is based on Space Sheriff Gavin. And Toei was so flattered by this that they were just like, hey, what if nearly every Metal Hero from now on was just RoboCop as an homage? So they're like homaging each other. It's very interesting and it's very fun because RoboCop is a great Toku film. A really great. I love RoboCop, unironically. Amazing film. Anyway, Jiban is probably the most RoboCop of the RoboCops. He looks very much like RoboCop, except he's got more Kamen Rider eyes and he doesn't have the Space Sheriff slit. They're much more Kamen Rider-y orbs. But they do light up under the mask, so there is like a big visor. But a lot of his body is very RoboCop in its bulkiness and often in its color. And he also has the leg holster. It like pops out of his thigh, but he pulls his fucking sword out instead of a gun, which is rad. And for Jiban, this mobile detective, we are actually going to do 2 episodes. Why 2 episodes? Because I felt the first one isn't one you can really make much of a first impression on, because the entire first episode is basically just non-stop action, which is rad as shit. And you can watch the first 2 episodes of Jiban legally here on YouTube for free. So, the action in the first episode, incredible. Some dated but dope practical effects. Lots of explosions and sparks. Jiban being a fucking badass. There's nothing really character-wise to it at all. He's in his machine form for almost the entire thing. And it doesn't tell you anything about him except that he's a cop that fights these alien invaders and that his existence is kind of a secret. And he's clearly some kind of cyborg. But that's all we know about him. We don't even get his human name until like the very end of the episode. And it doesn't even show that he is human until the very end of the episode. He spends most of it moving around like RoboCop. This also kind of looks like Rudy Giuliani doing his Mitt Romney impression. So much has happened that people forgot that happened, but it's a real thing. Look it up. Anyhow, sick first episode, just blowing shit up. There's also some of that crazy, weird, nonsensical Showa Toku stuff that you love to see. God, it's really quite a first episode. You'll love it. Even if you don't want to watch the whole show, I do recommend watching that first episode because it's just like 23 minutes of just straight violence. It really is. And then the next episode of Jiban, I feel like is probably a better representation of what this show is actually gonna be. Because you see him in his human form, and he is just a normal cop, but he seems to not be an extraordinary cop. But he also is able to transform into the mobile detective Jiban. And it is implied that he was in some kind of big accident and this had to be done to him. It doesn't tell us exactly how, though. It seems like his landlord is the one that turned him into a robot. And I guess his landlord works for this organization that's defending the world against these alien invaders. And they turned him into Jiban. So in his day job as a regular cop, He's not super remarkable, but I think he's intentionally not super remarkable. Maybe he probably wasn't beforehand, but he's doing that Clark Kent thing, you know? Where he's like, oh yeah, I'm not the strongest or fastest dude, but he like is. Plus he has the Metal Hero flying car. You can't be a Metal Hero without a flying car. Of course. Jaspion's got one. Jaspion. Anyhow, continuing onward. We also have some like detective work in this, but it's like this is a kids show at the end of the day, so the mysteries aren't crazy, or at least they weren't. It wasn't in this episode. It actually wasn't what I predicted though. There's this bank robber who's freakishly strong and they can't catch him, but then when I guess the feds show up, they capture him super easily. And in my mind, it was like if this, okay, so in my mind, the feds are aliens and they're taking him in so that the real cops can't. Not what happened. He just wanted to be captured so he could infiltrate them. It wasn't already infiltrated. But still, that's not super different. Of course, if this was a regular cop show and not a Heisei hero cyborg fighting aliens show, my thought would have been like either corrupt cops or maybe the super strong guy was actually undercover, and to maintain his cover, he needed to be arrested by specific people. But this is a Heisei hero fighting aliens show, so he's clearly an alien. But yeah, at this point, after watching episode 2, I don't think the mystery is supposed to be the individual episodic mysteries that we're going to get. I think the real mystery is, how did this dude become Jiban? I think that's what we're really supposed to be thinking about here. And I think that is a good mystery. It'll probably have something to do directly with the aliens. Because, and there's also, I bet you there's this little girl in it. And she's like the daughter of the landlords that turned him into Jiban. And she's for sure going to get a bigger role. For sure. There's also an AI called Boy. Oh my god, every time they talk to him, since his name is Boy, it always sounds like they're talking down to him. Like, boy, go get me. like some rich fuck, some rich racist fuck or something would call like their waiter of color. I know that's a weird place to go, but it's every time they're like, boy, do this. It's like, oh, okay. It's a little problematic. I mean, it's not actually. It's just a quirky AI name, but it is funny. It's weird and it's funny. But I do like this show. I think Jiban and then his actual police partner have a very, very Clark Kent Lois Lane dynamic. And you know I'm a huge Superman fan. I dig it. They have an extremely Clark Kent Lois Lane dynamic. And I am down with that. I am fine with it. I am ace with it. I even encourage it because, once again, Superman is one of my favorite comics of all time. I try to read all Superman and Superman Action Comics runs. I'm not going to go back and read all of them forever because that's decades worth of material. You just can't do it. But everything New 52 onward, I'm definitely going to read Superman for Action Comics and Superman Action Comics. Also, I really like the John Kent stuff, even though I wish they wouldn't have aged him up. But this isn't about Superman, it's about Jiban, aka RoboCop. But yeah, I actually really enjoyed this. It does seem like the mysteries are going to be simple. I don't know how long it's going to take to reveal the mystery of how he became Jiban. But I am enjoying it. One thing, though, I want to say one more thing before we continue onward. And it's that every time Jiban goes to fight an alien, he did this in both episodes, he kind of reads this list of, it's not like reading them their rights, it's more like telling them about his authority. So he's like, he pulls out his badge, which looks like a big cassette tape that comes out of his tummy. And he's like, all right, I'm Mobile Detective Jiban. And he does it in this really cool way where he's walking towards them, and since he's reading them the rights, he's like not even really fighting them yet, but he's often taking hits and dodging them while he reads this to them, which is kind of cool. And he's like, all right, I'm Mobile Detective Jiban. I can arrest without a warrant, blah, blah, blah. Lethal force is authorized for any aliens. And basically, the summing up of the rights is, if you're a member of this alien species, I can do whatever I want. You don't have human rights. And when you think about it, like when you really think about it, it's kind of super fascist. But also, they are an invading race. This is basically a war. And it's a kid's show, so they don't want to get muddled down in all the legal mumbo jumbo. It's not like this isn't Law and Order. This isn't CSI. It's not like a courtroom drama or anything, you know? So I get it. They're just trying to simplify it for the kids so that they can just go straight into the action. But like looking at it objectively as an adult, Jiban is a straight up fascist. But I mean, so is Judge Dredd. People like Judge Dredd. Judge Dredd is even supposed to be a fascist. Wild stuff. But I do like it. After the first 2 episodes of Mobile Detective Jiban, I think he's really great. And there might be a more standard translation than Mobile Detective. I usually just refer to him as Jiban. But I love Jiban. And I think it's a Metal Hero series that I really want to continue. I just got to find a way to legally continue it. Because currently, a lot of the stuff that was on Toei's Tokusatsu World YouTube channel, which let you legally watch a lot of their Toku stuff internationally, a lot of it has been taken down. And since Shin Kamen Rider came out, the newer one, that channel's basically dead. Like, I've reviewed Kamen Rider J and stuff, and that's because it's on that channel. So you can watch it legally. But, like, Kamen Rider J, Zoe, and the original Shin are all on there. But so much has been taken down. But there are a lot of first couple episodes of newer Kamen Rider shows. Definitely check out The Build. That's good stuff. But yeah, that's it for Jiban. Those are my first impressions of the Metal Hero Jiban. And I do really like it. I want to continue it. I want to check out mostly Metal Heroes for this series, actually. Because there are a lot of... I've watched a decent bit of Super Sentai, and I've watched a lot of Kamen Rider, and I know Ultraman is Tsuburaya, but I've watched a lot of that too. And so I just think I do want to kind of focus on Metal Heroes right now for this new series. And I know this has been 13 minutes, and a lot of people could have spent 13 minutes reviewing the entirety of Jiban. But they wouldn't have gotten into as many specifics, I think, as in these first 2 episodes. But I didn't get that specific either. And that is kind of shitty of me. Flocka. That was so dumb. If I wasn't editing this or uploading this straight from my phone, I would definitely edit that joke out. That was so fucking stupid. God damn it. Anyway, I'm going to Ranger Stop. If you don't know, every year I go to a convention in Atlanta called Ranger Stop and Pop. It's a Power Rangers convention. That's Toku stuff. You'll be getting Toku shorts from that. Last year I didn't do the filming big vlogs because I went with my partner, and I'm doing that again this year, so I also won't be filming the big vlogs. If I go by myself again ever, I'll do the vlogs. But when I'm with him or with friends that I'm with the whole time, because the first time I went with friends, but we kind of just went our separate ways and would meet up for lunch and meet up at the end and whatnot. And I filmed vlogs then, but you know, when it's with him, I don't want to just spend time with him. It's basically a date, you know. So we'll be doing that. And so you'll have that Toku content coming. And, you know, I do kind of want to watch Blue SWAT and Metal Man, Robot Detective, Zubat. Dude, I've always wanted to watch Zubat. I love clips of it. We'll get into all that soon. Oh, it's not matter. and all that soon. So that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe. Check out all the cool links if I remember to put them in there. Sometimes I forget to put the links in the description when I upload from my phone. Don't let me forget that, please. That's right, I'm looking through the little peephole. Yeah. But most content right now is going up on the main channel. Yeah, I haven't had as much time to make content because I've been working on trading cards and stuff for my store. I have a physical store where you can buy Toku stuff, but I'm working on sports stuff for it right now, if you're a sports fan. But the main channel, you know, I got a lot of Tokusatsu action figure reviews, comic book reviews. Like, we just did some action figure reviews for, like, Godzilla and Power Rangers. And I just filmed a bunch for Kamen Rider, but I haven't edited them yet. And I also have a bunch of Massive Verse comics coming, like Radiant Black, Inferno Girl Red. That's all Tokusatsu stuff. More Godzilla comic reviews coming. But right now, I gotta go put the chickens in their coop. And then I'm probably gonna try to upload this before bed. And then I'm gonna go to bed, fart more. And then tomorrow, I get ready for the convention. But that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below, Facebook, Twitter, etc. Let me know if you think this series is worth continuing. And I'll see you all next time. Bye for now.